This is Close Encounters. Close Encounters. True stories, real people. Close Encounters on Cross Rhythms.
Yes, hello and welcome to Close Encounters with me, Anne Donaldson. My guest today is Emilia Smedley. So welcome to Close Encounters, Emilia.
Thank you. It's good to be with you today.
Oh, it's lovely to have you. So, Emilia, you're a compliance analyst. Oh, it sounds really important. And you love outdoorsy things like swimming and walking and horse riding. Sounds great. Mm-hmm. And you're a wife and a mother.
Yeah.
So you're a busy lady.
Yes.
So thank you for taking the time today. So, Emilia, you were born in Stoke-on-Trent.
Yes, I was, yes.
Yeah.
Born in the North Staffs.
Oh, right.
Yeah, hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you were brought up locally and went to school locally to the studios?
Yes, so I was brought up in Harriseyhead,
Mm-hmm.
which is just, Malcop, Harriseyhead.
Yeah.
And I went to primary school called Firstfield Primary.
Okay.
Which I absolutely loved.
Did you?
Yeah.
It makes such a difference to learning if you enjoy it, doesn't it?
Yeah, my primary school years were, they were really good.
Yeah. And at home, were you brought up in a Christian home?
Yes. My mum was a Christian, so always I've not really known a life where sort of like God isn't in it or wasn't talked about or we didn't go to church or wasn't mentioned.
Yeah.
So, it's just sort of, that's always been there.
Yeah. So that would be a great influence then on you. You would go to church with your mum? Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. We go to church, yeah. Obviously, I think remember more anything about the community, the people that would be around. Our sort of like our home was always filled with people, and my mum would cook for people, and it was just a great time of being together. I think really, I suppose it's only as you get older that you look back, you can appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think at the time I was just a child, and that was just life. That was just what was happened.
Yeah, it's just normal to you.
Yeah.
But you yourself, when you were about 7 years old, you prayed a prayer.
Yes, I do. I remember, I think I would have been about 7, maybe 6 or 7, and I remember being in the kitchen with my mum, and it was just a simple prayer of just asking Jesus into my heart, just a simple childlike prayer, that after all these years sticks with me.
That's wonderful.
Obviously, as a child, we have lots of memories, and I think memories are quite easy to forget.
Yes.
But that one thing, it really sticks out to me to the point where I can even remember where I was standing in the kitchen and what I was looking at. So it's obviously quite prominent.
Yeah, and had a profound impact.
Yeah.
And you'd got good influences around you.
Yes, growing up. So I spent a lot of time with my nan and my granddad. Mum was busy, obviously. Mum and dad worked, and it helped that they lived literally down the road from us, so I could walk from my house to my nan's house quite easily. So I spent a lot of time with them, and they were really good influences on my life. Had a really big impact.
Yeah.
As well as obviously, being at home. And my auntie, I spent a lot of time with my auntie as well, and she had a horse, and that's where the love of horses came in. I used to spend a lot of time as a child going to the stables with her, and I started, I learned to ride at a young age. That was... It sounds lovely. It sounds really good. Really good.
It really does. And were there challenges at all within that time, like pre-teens? Did you face challenges?
Pre-teens, I would say no, not up until sort of like around the age of, I want to say 11, 10, 11. Unfortunately, my mum and dad split.
Okay.
So at that point, I would say that was probably the first
big challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first big.
Yeah.
impact.
And within that, you were still very, very young, but you had that simple trust of Jesus.
Yeah. I think I just got up. We just got on with life. It happened, and we just went through it.
Yeah.
And I think seeing my mum just go through and carry on.
Yeah.
That obviously had
a role. You'd got a strong role model who was a follower of Jesus. Yeah. So into your teens now.
Yes.
What happened in your teens?
Oh, okay. So this is a bit of a I was all over the place. I don't think I'm going to sugarcoat it.
No.
I think we moved. So the big change was I moved. We moved. After the split of my mum and dad, and I went to a new school. I sort of all my old friends that I'd had growing up. They were no longer there.
Yeah.
So I found myself in a new place with new people.
Yeah.
And although I did have a really, really close friend growing up, I spent a lot of time with it. She was both of us, I think, we were a really good influence on each other. There was also got in with the wrong people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I rebelled.
Yeah.
I rebelled as a
Yeah.
teenager.
I think this is really helpful for people to hear because, all can go through this phase. But as we're going to hear as the story continues, you don't have to stay in that phase.
No.
But in that phase, getting in with the wrong crowd is really a hard thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is. I found myself in some situations, that I shouldn't have really been in.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I think was always... the one thing that I always knew was that I could call on God.
Right, yeah.
That was the one thing.
That's powerful.
That, no matter sort of like where I was or what position I found myself in, I knew that I could call out to God.
That's so good. Yeah. And so within those relationships, there'd be female and male.
Yes.
Was there a meaningful male relationship?
No, not as a teenager. No. I suppose I had a really big group of friends.
Yeah.
But not friends.
Okay.
There was a lot of people as teenagers that we used to gather with, hang around together, but I wouldn't say they were my friends. They were just people that I knew.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think it would be a good time for us to listen to your first choice of music, and you've chosen If the Lord by Bethel.
Yes.
Thank you. You're listening to Close Encounters. I'm Anne Donaldson, and my guest today is Emilia Smedley. So, Emilia, we were hearing about your teenage years when you were in with some of the wrong crowd and not walking the way that you perhaps would have liked to have done. And that sort of led into your early 20s, didn't it?
Yes, yeah. So from I think just before my 17th birthday, I met my first proper boyfriend. Okay. As I would call him. Yeah. I was with my boyfriend up until I think just before the age of 20. So I just turned 19, I think.
Yeah.
So from sort of 16 to 19, I'd got a boyfriend. So I wasn't in church. I'd stopped going to church at this point. And I was just, life was really good actually.
Yeah.
I was having really good fun at the time.
Yeah.
It was a little bit older than me. So he was driving. So we used to go spend a lot of time at the beach,
Yeah.
and we had a jet ski, so we used to do a lot of jet skiing, and camping. So in a way, that was quite good. It was you
were enjoying.
Yeah,
it.
I was enjoying
and
life.
and behind the scenes was Mum.
At first she was. I hid it from her actually at first. When I got involved with this man now. I didn't tell her at first, but then once she found out, she accepted.
Yeah.
She accepted.
Yeah.
I think that was the one thing that I would always remember, and this is another. I suppose this is another like sort of like influence in my life. Is so my mum. I remember she would always sort of blow it. Her first sort of initial reaction would be, this isn't right.
Yeah.
But she would always love and show grace and just accept.
Yeah. And behind the scenes, she was praying.
Yes. Yeah. Praying all the time.
And you would know she was praying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it got to a point growing up where, I remember her saying to me, all I can do is pray.
Yeah.
And I won't stop praying.
Yeah.
And I trust God that she knew. There was no doubt in her heart, because I remember her saying, I know that God will bring you through.
Yeah.
I know God's got you.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was, and thank God that she did. Thank God that she never stopped praying.
Yeah. And she was very much involved in worship, wasn't she?
Yes, she was. Growing up again as a child, I remember, her going off to lots of different places. She went out to Africa a few times. She'd been to America, Norway, and this was all with like a worship ministry. Yeah. So I think really having seen that was like a reality of how God can use a person. Yeah. It was real. Yes. I could see what was happening. Yeah. So that was a real big influence.
Yeah, excellent.
I don't think one thing I think throughout my life is I've never doubted what God can do.
Yeah. So it's really encouraging for anyone listening who they themselves perhaps have a strong faith and they're parent of a youngster who seems to be doing their own thing.
Yes.
Just keep praying.
Yes.
Just keep praying, because we're going to hear, I'm excited, we're going to hear more soon. But the story, your story goes that you had a child.
Yes.
And then you got married.
Yes. So I did. I had 2 children actually in a very short space of time. Mm-hmm. So my daughter was born 22nd of February 2006, and then my son followed the 13th of February 2007.
Oh, that was quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was it. Just sort of all happened quite quickly.
Yeah.
Probably the best way though, actually, to be honest. They had each other growing up, so that's been
so
nice.
Being a parent, did that make you turn to God again?
Yeah, it did. So I think I'd started going back to church just before my daughter was born. So yes, I'd started going back to church just before she was born, and then after she was born, I was back in church.
Yeah.
And again, it was a difficult time as well. I'd met who was my first husband at this point. And not long after my daughter being born, the relationship wasn't great.
No.
I don't even know if I want to say.
No, you don't just say.
Yeah.
It's fine. Things were difficult.
Yeah.
There was a challenge.
It was, yes.
And that made you turn to God.
Yeah.
So soon after that, you chose to be baptised.
Yeah, so I can't remember the exact time frame of everything, but I'd got Zach, so it was the latter end. maybe early 2008. Actually.
And what stirring? What was it that stirred you?
So I think it was something that I always knew that I would do at some point. And I think it was a case of, why haven't I done it sooner?
Yeah.
But it was just there. I remember at the time, my mum was helping out at a church in Rugeley. She'd gone and she was leading some of the worship there, and they were having a baptism. There was a baptism happening, and I put my name down for it.
Yeah.
And it was we got baptised. My husband at the time, both of us got baptised at the time. So for me, I think it was just something that I always knew I would do eventually at some point.
Yeah. So it was a significant event for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes, it is. It is a significant event, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's a choice you're making.
And it's a public declaration, isn't it? That I'm walking in new life.
Yes.
Through Jesus Christ.
Yes.
So it's very significant. And it would be very meaningful for you. But I think soon after that, your marriage broke up.
Yes. So a few years later, so that would have been 2007. So 2011, latter end of 2011, I decided to leave my marriage. It wasn't a decision that I made lightly. I don't think it is. I think marriage, whether you're a Christian or not, marriage is something that you see for life.
Yeah.
But I think equally as a Christian as well, there's a sort of like a deeper meaning, that union between man and wife. It's from God, isn't it?
Yes.
So it wasn't a decision that I took lightly to leave. No. But the marriage, I was in an abusive marriage. Yeah. I will just say out. Yeah. Out straight how it is.
Yeah. So I think. We'll pause at this point and listen to your next choice of music. Thank you, Emilia. And my guest today is Emilia Smedley. And we were hearing about how your first marriage came to an end. And how did you move forward from that, Emilia?
Okay, so it was quite a difficult process, a difficult time. When I decided to leave, it was almost a little bit like one of those light bulb moments. I literally left with me, my two children in a car, and that was it. So I went to stay with my mum for a while, for almost 18 months, while all the divorce was being sorted out, and also stayed with my dad for a little bit as well, because no sooner I'd been through that process, my mum was then diagnosed with cancer. So she was in and out of hospital over sort of the next sort of 6 months. So for a little while before I moved back into my own home, I'd stayed with my dad as well. And I think really through that, all that support was one of the main things. Well, I couldn't have done it.
No,
I could not have done it without the people around me, supporting me. But also as well, one of the things that I knew as well was that God had also got me.
That's it.
I remember, that I think that was one of the things that stuck out to me, was that I just knew. I didn't know how. I didn't know how it was going to pan out. I didn't know what it was going to look like, but I knew that I could get through it, and I knew that God would bring me through it. He'd got everything. He'd got me in his hands.
That's it. And like your mum had said, he'd got you.
Yes.
And so that's your story.
Yeah.
That you experienced that God was holding.
Yes.
Even as these difficulties were unfolding, even as these challenges and sadness was unfolding, he was still there, and he was your rock.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so for a while you were out of church.
Yes. So So my mum was diagnosed sort of early March, and then she'd passed away early December the same year. And by this point, I wasn't going to church, not because I was angry with God or anything like that, or blaming God. You know, I very much knew and believed that, you know, I had to believe that God again had got it. It was he knew what he was doing. It was all in his plan. You know, even the difficult times. I mean, he doesn't promise us that we won't have difficult times, does he?
No.
But he does promise us that he will be with us through them.
That's the key.
So for a little while I had stopped. I think I'd probably, there was a period of about maybe 4.5-5 years where I didn't go to church. During that time, I met my now husband. But God never left me alone. I couldn't. There was no sort of like peace in a way. There was this niggling. He
was drawing you back.
Yes,
there was a drawing.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And I knew that I wouldn't find peace, or I wouldn't be sort of fulfilled until I was back in where he wanted me to be.
And so how did that happen? Come on, this is the bit we've all been waiting for.
So it was Christmas.
Right.
We were at a family gathering. And we were all sort of sitting around the table, and my mum, my stepmum, my dad remarried. She said that she was going to go to church on Christmas Day because her sister was currently at a church. She was attending church, so they were having a Christmas Day service, and she just said, I'm going to go to church on Christmas Day. And I'd said, right, I'm coming with you. So we went to a Christmas Day service. But the one thing that I've left out that I feel is quite prominent that I need to speak about is so about probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 months prior to this, obviously me and James had been in a relationship. At this point I knew that I wanted to get married. But I didn't want to I wanted to get married in a church. I didn't want it to just be any church. I wanted it to be a church really that I was attending. But I'd felt alone. I hadn't been to church for a few years. So I remember praying to God and saying, Lord, if I marry this man, I want to marry him in a church. You need to find me a church. And that was probably early 2018. And then Christmas came.
Oh, this is beautiful.
I went to church, and the story then unfolds from there, really.
It unfolds. So James, did he come with you that Christmas Day?
He did, yeah. He said that he was dragged along, if you ask him. He said he was dragged along.
That's okay.
But yeah, no. In fact, the whole family came. There was a big bunch of us that just, I think, rocked up to church on Christmas Day. My brother was up from London, so him and his wife came, and all the children.
And it was a pivotal moment in your life. You know, I just want to encourage people listening, about inviting family and friends to church over the Christmas period, because there's a softness in people's hearts, and it's also an easy opportunity to walk through the doors of somewhere where maybe they've wanted to go but found it too hard to just go on their own. Whereas Christmas provides this beautiful opportunity, doesn't it?
It does.
How this story is so beautiful, Emilia. And James had only been in a church once before, hadn't he?
He had, yes. I think he said that he's been to a church for like a funeral or a wedding. Not been to church.
Oh, that's lovely. We're going to pause here and listen to your next choice, which is Trusting God by Elevation. Thank you. Welcome back to Close Encounters on Cross Rhythms with me, Anne Donaldson, and my guest today is Emilia Smedley. And it was so lovely before we listened to that song. You were telling us about Christmas Day, and it was a pivotal time, wasn't it?
It was, yes. It was that moment, like you say, as soon as I walked through the doors and we started to sing, and I just thought, it felt like home. It felt like home. So I just knew that. Well, I said to James, I said, I don't know about you. I said, but I'm going back. Whether you come with me, it's up to you. But I'm going.
So and
it's grown from there, really.
Yeah. I mean, you did both come back.
Yes, we did. In fact, James came, and he gave his life to the Lord. He got baptised in the church. We obviously both got married in that church, and it's become like a real big part of our life. It's our life. As part of,
it's total abandonment, isn't it?
And it is just amazing. It's just amazing. It's amazing what just going that Christmas Day service has led to, really.
And you know, it's just so beautiful when you look at God's faithfulness. And none of what's happened has come as a surprise to him.
No.
There's been an unfolding.
Yes, and I think that is the one thing that stands out to me, I think, through my life, is God's faithfulness.
Yeah.
He is faithful even when we aren't.
Yeah.
You know,
It's that picture of the story in the Bible of, we call it the prodigal son, but we perhaps need to call it the faithful father.
Yes.
Because the image of the father standing with his arms open wide. Yeah. He was there ready for whenever the son turned. And that's your story, isn't it? He was standing there. And he was there throughout.
Yes, definitely. Just without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful story of transformation and restoration.
Yes,
and also God's intention for you and James, seeing how you know James was faithful to your relationship by turning up on Christmas Day.
Yes, that is very true. And he's you know, I do thank God for James, because he is that person that is by your side. And I think, you know, he's been faithful all the way through, like you've just said, to the relationship, to you know, and to God now as well. That's the main thing.
It's led to that, hasn't it? Yeah. His faithfulness to you caused him to come to church when he probably was feeling like a fish out of water. And yet there God was penetrating. The Holy Spirit was doing a work.
Yeah, most definitely.
And what a blessing for you and for your family.
It is. It's God rebuilding.
Yeah. And as you say, that faithfulness that's so evident. So you're growing in your faith together, aren't you? Shoulder to shoulder. How? What would you share with listeners of what's causing your faith to grow?
I think it's making that choice and that commitment. To firstly, to try and put God first, above it all. You know, going to church, spending time together, not just at church, but I think it's really, really important at home, in your private life, private time as a you know, a couple, to spend time with God together. Just either be, you know, listening to worship, reading the Bible, praying, even just talking, having conversations. It's about bringing God into the centre of that relationship. And just being, or trying to be, as committed as you can.
And how's that changed you, Emilia? What impacts that had on you?
Massively. I mean, massively. It changes. I think it's slowly. You know, slowly. It's not a massive transformation overnight. You don't transform.
It's a progress.
It is a progress, and it's a process as well. But I just feel I don't feel the person. I feel different from the person that I used to be. Even down to just choices I make. Attitudes. You know, just how you live your life. It's God. It changes you, doesn't it? It changes you from the inside out. And I think the biggest I don't really know how to explain it more than that.
I think you have. I think it's that transformation from the inside out, and that deep peace, that deep joy.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you haven't had challenges, but it's that sense of being strong in him and he's strong for you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And I think that leads us in so lovely into your next choice, which is champion.
Yeah.
You're listening to Close Encounters with me, Anne Donaldson, and my guest today is Emilia Smedley. And I'm just grinning from ear to ear because I love your story, Emilia. It's a life transformed. And you shared how worship was so much part of your mum's life. It's also now part of yours, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, massive. Yes, it is. So obviously growing up, worship, as you've just said, was a massive part. I always remember the home, like my mum was always on the guitar singing, so it's just like a natural sort of thing that I was always brought up around. I joined the worship team in church, just because I've just got that's where I can express my gratitude to God, and ultimately, you know, he deserves all the praise. So it's where I feel almost at home.
That makes sense. That's where he's placed you. And you were saying off air how you feel that you and James have been placed by God in the church.
Yes, yeah.
How it's become part of your family.
It has. It's a massive part of our life now. I feel it's a very privileged place to be in.
You're just aware of his faithfulness, his constant faithfulness, and the privilege of being able to be part of what he's doing.
Yes. Well, yeah, it is. It is privileged to be part of what he's doing, to be used by him.
And the impact it's had in your home as well, isn't it?
It is, because like you say, those times that you do spend together, praying at home and just worshipping, just having music on, it does have an influence on your children in the home, and it's opened ways up where we've been able to pray with them, and we have many conversations.
Beautiful. And I know you've chosen some beautiful songs today, all 5 of them. Before we introduce your final song, you're going to tell us what's the thread through all the songs you've chosen, Emilia?
Yeah, so I think the thread through all of them is God's faithfulness, how he has just been with you and is with you through anything and everything, and that ultimately it's him. Yeah. It's his faithfulness. It's nothing that we can do, nothing that, we can work ourselves. It's just God's faithfulness and grace and love towards us as his people.
It was a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for coming in and just encouraging us. We see God at work, and that encourages us when we're praying for people we love, or when we're supporting people we love. And so that's amazing. So thank you so much for being our guest today. And you've chosen for your last song, "Running to the Light" by Brandon Lake. Thank you.
Close Encounters on Cross Rhythms. True stories, real people.